Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tropic Wonder podcast, where we cover all manner of interesting topics, things that make you wonder in life. I am constantly doing. I tend to be a more introspective person, and I'm always analyzing not just my own behavior, but the wild and bizarre world that we live in right now. Our current social climate is at best a total catastrophe, and at worst, apocalyptic. We are experiencing such a bizarre state of humanity right now, and I'm constantly analyzing and trying to figure out and pinpoint exactly what it is that is causing this sort of like upheaval of, let's say, manners. Okay, I believe that we are losing touch with manners. And I think that right now you can really classify people into either people who have respect and people who don't have respect. And I don't know about you guys, but I see this all the time. I am in a public position. My job is, puts me into a state of being very social. And I understand that when you put yourself out there and take any real risk in life, there's always going to be the possibility that people are going to criticize you for it. I mean, I'm not afraid to be criticized. I'm just always really interested in the type of human being that I'm coming across who is doing the critiquing. So that's what today's topic is actually about. It's about haters. It's about whenever you do something brave in life, when you have the cojones to get out there, or the tatas, to get out there and do something bold, do something different, do something that is against the societal norm. Like, I choose to live a very alternative lifestyle that's not necessarily supported by humanity. I'm an artist. I'm a free spirit. I'm a free thinker. So I have cultivated a life that allows me to be the truest version of myself, that really allows me to express who I am every day. And it's not easy to do that because inevitably you're going to face ridicule from mouth breathers who don't have the courage to do what they wish they could do in life. If you guys have ever attempted anything new, there's a good chance that you will have experienced what I'm talking about and faced the backlash of the muggles. You cannot give the muggles any credit. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you will know what I'm talking about. The muggles, of course, are the non-magic folk, right? They're the people who lack the tenacity and the spirit and the soul and the drive and the courage and the bravery to step forward and create a life that is outside of the social construct. I get haters all the time. You guys would not believe the things that people say to me. I mean, just blows my mind. And it's just, I'm so glad that I was raised the way that I was. I was raised to be really tough. I was raised to be resilient, and I am used to taking so much criticism. I'm grateful for the way that I grew up because it made me tough as nails. So when I come across dipshit knuckle draggers who just want to try and dim my light and they want to tear me down because they do not have an ounce of the courage that it takes to get out there and dare to do something different. So they lack that within themselves, right? So when people lack something like that, it brings out this sort of ego and this fear in them, this latent fear that they are not good enough. So therefore, they have to attack you in order to make themselves feel better because they haven't done jack all shit in their entire life and they probably never will. So if you get haters, you cannot take it personally. You have to consider the source. You will never be criticized by somebody doing more than you or doing better than you in life. You will never be criticized by somebody who has already achieved their dreams. You will only ever be criticized by somebody who has not done a freaking thing with their life. You will only be criticized by people who are beneath you. And I can tell you from personal experience, people have tried to bring me down since I can't even remember. Since I was born, I assume. And I don't let them because I take into consideration whatever ego drama they must be going through. You must hate yourself if you have to go out and try and insult somebody else and bring them down and throw shade their way because they're living their best life. The things that people say to me, mostly men, which is odd because I am a huge champion of bringing back masculinity in our culture. I think we really need to see a return to the support of our men strong men, protectors, providers, alpha men. But that is the difference, because true masculine men, alpha men, would never go around insulting women on the internet, talking shit to them. Like, I have known so many real men in my life. I am so proud and so grateful that I've met so many examples of what a real man looks like. Even in my family, I have wonderful men in my family. A lot of Marines, even the ones who didn't serve, are just, they're good human beings. They're protectors, they're providers, they take care of their family and loved ones. I love to tell people this story of one of my uncles who was a Marine, and he was doing a tour in Vietnam. So he did his tour and then he came back, and his younger brother got drafted, and he signed up to do another tour of duty because it was so bad. He didn't want his little brother to witness the things that he had gone through. So he took his place. That is a man. That is a real man. And I promise you this, a man that does something like that does not spend his time on the internet being a keyboard warrior, insulting young women who are singing songs about love and the moon. Like, that's all I've ever done, is just try to make people happy by singing songs about usually love or stars or dreams coming true. And it just cracks me up. When they talk about toxic masculinity, that is who they're talking about. And oddly enough, I've only ever received hate from men. And you would think it would be the other way around, because women get this bad rap for being catty, being jealous, being gossipy. And I have not personally experienced that. I have only ever had toxic beta soy boy males talk shit to me. It blows my mind. Never in person, of course, only behind the safety of their keyboard from their mom's basement after they get done playing Call of Duty in their underwear, eating Cheetos, watching Pornhub. So again, you have to consider the source. Like, just yesterday, I put out a new song, and like two different men, one was like, they were both Latin men. One was like a little 4'2", tiny little baby hands, tiny little, could barely grow a mustache, couldn't have been more than 22 years old, tell me I was ugly, wrinkly, old, grandma called me 70-year-old, like told me I sucked, told me to shut up, bitch, like all this other stuff, like just insane things that people say to me, like, how's it feel to be another year older and doing this your whole life and still never make it? Which I always think is funny when people, first of all, I haven't been doing this my whole life. I was a late bloomer. I didn't start doing this until a few years ago. I didn't start professionally pursuing this until like 5 years ago. So, and then also too, make it. When people say like you're supposed to make it somewhere, I just never know what they're talking about. Like, where am I supposed to go? I live on the ocean. I drink out of coconuts every day. I play guitar. I'm essentially retired at 38. I just don't know like where I'm supposed to go with this. Am I supposed to go slave away in LA and sell my soul to Satan and, eat babies like with Lady Gaga and Marina Abramovic, like Bill Gates? Like, I just don't know where I'm supposed to go. So, I just think it's funny when people use that as like an attempt to dim my shine, because as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm already here. I don't know where else I'm supposed to be doing this. Like, where am I making it? In New York, you can make it here. You can make it anywhere where like soy boy beta males run the streets and people are getting stabbed and poop everywhere. Like, I don't know where else I'm supposed to go. So that's always funny. But again, like I said, you just have to consider the source. And when you dare to do anything big, you're going to inevitably attract people who will try to throw shade at you and just try and ruin your day, because it's the only way that they can validate their existence. It's the only way that they can give themselves substance, because they have none. And they'll probably never do anything great in their lives. So just know that when you get haters, you are on the right track. You do not have to follow the crowd. In fact, you should never follow the crowd. Always blaze your own trail. And that's how I've always known when I was being authentic and staying true to myself, because my life doesn't look like anyone else's blueprint. Like, I created my own. I wanted to make a life I didn't have to escape from. And I wanted to live on vacation permanently. And that's what I do now. Let me tell you, I cannot remember one person who said that they thought it was a good idea. every choice I made along the way, there was always people chirping in my ear telling me I was making a mistake, I was doing it wrong. My music equipment sucks. Like I would go on stage and get made fun of for like the type of guitar I was playing or not having like more expensive lighting or sound equipment or cameras. And like, it just doesn't matter what you do as long as you start and then you stay consistent. And that's all I've ever done. When I first started, I was so nervous. I had a really crappy old guitar that someone gave me. I remember like recording videos on my iPhone 4. Like I remember even like saving up to buy an iPhone, like just so I could record videos because I had a flip phone before that. And yeah, so I mean, it's just one step at a time and you just do what you can when you can. Like when I could afford it, I would buy another piece of equipment. And it was just a very slow process, but I never gave up and I never let anybody tell me that I couldn't do something. And in fact, when they told me I couldn't, it actually gave me fuel to push me further, to make sure that I succeeded, you know, just to here, eat that, leave us alone. I was talking to a friend about this one day, and they have in their personal business, they have this quote, the man in the arena quote, a Teddy Roosevelt quote. And I love this. It's awesome. I'm actually gonna look it up right now. I should have pulled it up. Man in the arena quote. So it's awesome. It's essentially, I'm gonna put my glasses on because I'm kind of blind without them. Okay. Theodore Roosevelt's The Man in the Arena. I'm gonna read it. Because here's another quotable quote for you to remember. Those who can't do, critique. Anybody, if you are a real musician or anybody who's ever started a business or dared to do something brave and new in their life and try something new, those people who have attempted to do something great, they would never make fun of somebody else for starting out. It's only the people who don't have the balls to do it themselves that will make fun of you. So just remember, again, I'll say this to the end of time, just take it with a grain of salt and consider the source. Because those who can't do, critique. Never in my wildest dreams would I try to bring somebody down. I probably dole out 100 compliments a day. When I see people, men or women, I will find something kind to say to them, to uplift their day. No matter who it is, if it's somebody I'm interacting with at a show, or if it's a cashier, a checkout clerk, whatever, I will find something to say that will bring a smile to their face or bring joy to their life. I will compliment anything, their hair, their smile, their outfit, their attitude, their energy. I will make chit chat about, hey, how long they got you here for? Oh, dang, you're almost off work. Enjoy your freedom. Like I'll find a way to make them laugh or smile or something because I have joy in my heart. So that's what I want to spread around. And that's the difference. You have to remember when people have self-hatred in their heart, that's what they want to spread around because they feel so much poison inside. They just want to shoot venom at everybody else. This has nothing to do with you. You cannot take this personally. This has everything to do with them and all of that they feel they lack inside. Man in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcomings, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. I love that. It's so poignantly said. The synopsis of that essentially is that the people who have never dared to do anything great, they'll never know what it feels like to fail. And I don't even call it failure. I call it like the lessons that we learn. They'll never know the power of that, but they'll also never know the power that you gain from That feeling of achieving what you set out to do. After every show, nearly every performance, every first that I ever had in life, every major thing that I've done along the way and accomplished, that the people who never dare to get off the couch and they just sit there and talk smack to you on the internet, those people will never know the power that you go through. Like, that makes you a freaking warrior. When you accomplish a goal, like, you feel like Rambo. You can't put that feeling into words for people who have never achieved great things in their life. It doesn't matter what that is. It doesn't have to be performing. Like, even like mothers, like giving birth, the triumphs, and the joys and the sorrows and the ups and downs that you have, the highs and lows. Like, you can't pinpoint and explain what that's like to somebody else who maybe have never gone through something really wild like that beauty, and that it's a holy experience. It really is coming together with yourself and your God. It's coming in tune and becoming one with your God self. And there is nothing more magical than that. You hear many people refer to God as creator. And I have so many different terms for God. Use whatever's comfortable for you. Some people don't enjoy that. I like Holy Spirit. I like to say God. I like to say creator is one of my favorite. And my holy creator, if he made us in his image, then what are we but little creators? What are we but little mini architects, little versions of the spark of God running around, and we are creating too. We are the architects of our life. And I believe that that is what God wants for us. I believe God wants us to come here to create new life, create art, create beauty, create love, create things that foster love on the planet and raise and uplift the vibration and uplift each other. So whenever you see somebody criticizing something else, criticizing somebody else, that is them acting from their fear-based thinking. That is them acting from that small, dark, sad, lonely little place within them. And how sad for them. Pity them. Don't take it personally. You cannot let somebody dim your light. It's just the dark trying to steal the light. And what happens when you walk into a dark room and you flip on the light switch? It vanquishes the dark. Keep shining your light. You're going to have haters. Don't take it personally. It's not even worth wasting your energy on. So I would just delete the comments. If you're doing anything publicly online, I would just delete and block them. It's just not worth your time or energy. This isn't to say that you aren't allowed to stand up for yourself, because by all means, there is a difference between anger and righteous anger for sure. But I think wisdom plays a huge part in knowing the difference between when to fight a battle and when to just ignore somebody because they're so insignificant, it's not even worth your time. Remember, an eagle doesn't waste time explaining to a cockroach it's what it sees. Bees don't waste time explaining to flies why honey's better than shit, all right? And it's not your job to do that either. So you don't have to defend yourself to anybody. You don't owe anybody an explanation. If you want to do something great in life, go fucking do it. You'll have at least one fan here who supports you and loves you and has your back. No matter what, I will love and support you. Like, call me and I will fucking support your dreams so hard. So hopefully that helps. I just wanted to share a little bit about what's going on in my life. Let me know if you guys have any comments, questions for me, or video ideas for me in the future that you'd like to hear us discuss here at the Tropic Wonder podcast. And please leave an emoji, like, anything helps support the algorithm of the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, turn on your notification bell. Also, little shameless self-promotion here. I did just drop a new single. It's called Palm Tree Breeze. The video is almost done being edited. So hopefully that'll be out this weekend. But the single is live. It's on Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, iTunes. But I hope you guys are having the best day of your lives so far. And I'm just going to send you all my love today. And in case no one's told you, I love you and you are so perfect the way you are. So cheers. I love you guys so much. And I hope that you have an amazing day. And I hope tomorrow's even better. Here's to creating a vacation life.